Hello, I'm John Hopkins, and welcome to my kitchen counter. It's a little different from the usual introduction, welcome to my kitchen table, but as you can see, we're at my kitchen counter. This video was requested by somebody for whom I have the utmost respect, and I hope you like it. It's about kitchen organization, specifically the way I organize my own kitchen, but I'm really not telling you that you should organize your kitchen like I organize mine. My kitchen organization is based on the kind of things I do. It's based on the layout of the kitchen, the limitations of the kitchen. It's based on a lot of things. But the point is, what I'm trying to encourage you to do is to organize your own kitchen the way it makes sense. I had a rather sharp professional lady in here just the other day, and she was talking about her own kitchen, and somebody came in and told her that she should really organize better, and that she should have things placed together with the things that they go with, that she uses them with. And so between the original request that I do this video from somebody else that I value very highly and what she said, I thought I'd give it a try. So let me switch over now
to my narrator voice, and we'll continue. This is the corner of my kitchen where I do a lot of my work. My kitchen is small. Much of what should be useful wall space is taken up by an absurdly large window. The cabinets are old and dated, although they were current when we installed them about 20 years ago. My countertops are not granite or marble, but rather formica. A kitchen designer walking in would immediately frown and insist that this kitchen needs to be taken down to the studs and rebuilt from scratch. Yet, I can walk in and do almost anything and do it pretty easily. Why? I confess that part of that is 40+ years of experience, but a lot of it is planning and organization. Again, that is the point of this video, to encourage you to organize your kitchen. Not necessarily like I do, but so that it works for you. You can see here the baking corner. The flour, cornmeal, and sugar are right there in easy reach. You can see that measuring devices are in easy reach and all together. The most consistent way to measure flour is with a digital scale. You can see it there. Next up are digital thermometers. One is a remote one with a probe on a wire. One is a candy thermometer, and the third is folding instant read. There are two identical sets of measuring spoons, and yes, it is sometimes helpful to have two sets for a single dish. I have scoops of various sizes. They are great when I need to repeat like amounts over and over, like filling cups in a muffin pan. Below the measuring tools are general tools: tongs, meat tenderizing mallet, vegetable peeler, and so forth. Wooden spoons, whisks, and spatulas are above on the counter in easy reach. The drawer below that is kitchen towels. It is awfully nice to have access to them without having to go to the linen closet on the other end of the house. Here are the cup-sized measures, both liquid and dry. Two sets of dry and liquid measures in 1, 2, and 4 cup sizes. In the upper right, you can see the olive oil and my favorite vinegar for a vinaigrette inches from the liquid measurements. Whole wheat flour is in the sealed canister to the left to keep it out of the sunlight, as it does not keep as long as white flour. White flour, cornmeal, and sugar are just above on the counter within easy reach. Just below them are baking powder, baking soda, and salt, both table salt and kosher salt. With a quarter turn of the Lazy Susan shelf, I have my supplies for yeast breads just as handy. You can see one container to the right of the baking powder and the baking soda. Brown sugar, specialized flours, and less often used components are only a few degrees of rotation away as well, all in easy reach together with the measuring tools. I don't need to store separate pancake mix or cornbread mix, saving me both money and storage space. On the next shelf below are mixing bowls. I can pull out a mixing bowl and the scale and weigh the flour I want. The scale goes right back in the drawer. I can pull out the measuring spoons and the baking powder, baking soda, and salt and add them to the mix and put them back to their place inches away and add sugar, all without taking a single step. Flour, cornmeal, salt, sugar, baking powder or baking powder and baking soda are the dry components to so many things. I can combine them into what I want in 90 seconds without taking another step. This is another crucial part of organization, the pantry. Credit where credit is due. The magnificent spice rack on the door was the creation of my father-in-law when he owned this house before us. More on that later. A few years ago, a family emergency required us to shift 90% of our grocery budget to another purpose for a month. Having a well-stocked pantry allowed us to do it. For that month, there was nothing fancy. Not much variety, but we ate and the nutrition was pretty good because we had prepared. You can see the top shelf. 3 of our favorite kinds of dry beans, lentils, and quick oats on the left. To the right are things we use less frequently. The next shelf down is mostly canned goods. Ideally, I would have all my canned goods there and only canned goods. But it's not about ideal, it's about doing the best we can with what we have. The canister in the middle is long-grain brown rice. By the way, if you don't like brown rice, it's probably because you've had medium or short grain. Long-grain brown rice is less common in the stores, but it is so much better for most dishes. Behind the rice is quinoa in a matching canister, and behind that, rolled oats. Ideally, they would be side by side and all visible at once. But we have the kitchens we have. This video is about maximizing reality, not pining for ideal. I have a variety of canned beans here as well, so I can access them for a bean salad or some such without hours of cooking dried beans. And by the way, I do love dried beans, but it's awfully nice to have the canned ones as well. If I need to extend meat, I can do it quickly and easily. I seldom buy prepared tomato-based sauces. By buying plain tomato sauce and diced tomatoes, I keep my options open. I can go in a Mexican or an Italian direction with the same basic products. If I have beef, pork, or chicken, I have many more options. The next 2 levels down are quarts of broth and oil and popcorn. A quart of broth is often cheaper than 2 15.5-ounce cans of broth augmented with water to make 32 ounces. The oil, canola is my favorite, is much cheaper per ounce if you buy it by the gallon. I pour it into a smaller bottle for day-to-day use, unless I need a lot of it, as for fried chicken. Please check out my chicken tenders video if you haven't already. By buying the larger container of popping corn, I can get the very best brand for about the same price as the lesser brands in the smaller package. The white drawer unit is for all the small things you want in your kitchen but don't work on a shelf. Note the fire extinguisher in the lower left of the picture. It is 2 paces from the stove where it is. Now back to the spice rack. Thank you, Wade Kirk, not only for raising the amazing daughter that I married, but for assembling this spice rack. I can bring my spice grinder to it, add all the whole herbs and spices that I want in my dish, including the whole peppercorns, to my grinder and grind them together. These are the ones I use in the greatest quantity. This is another level above. Between these 2 shelves, I can season nearly anything. My beloved cast iron cookware is located next to the stove where I can reach the pieces I use most without a single step. Less used pieces are 1 and 2 steps away. Sheet pans and racks are on the other side of the oven. Once again, in this video, though I do crow a bit about my own organization, the point is to encourage you to organize your own kitchen so that it serves you and your family. Often that makes the difference between ease and drudgery. Enjoy cooking. You don't need a high-end chef's kitchen to do so. I hope this video has been useful to you.